All right, so problem number 6. All right, so we're going to start looking at some Fisher projections. Fisher projections, I think, are a little bit easier to look at when you're assigning because a Fisher projection is only going to have 2 bonds. And the way that works, what I mean by that is I always have to do a hand gesture. The vertical lines are your dashes. The horizontal lines are your wedges. So we do not have anything in the plane here. And you're going to see why that makes that easier. But we're going to do the same thing as we always do. We're going to assign RS. We're going to check to make sure we have asymmetric centers. Now, in a Fisher projection, usually if you're going to have an asymmetric center, it's going to be at the intersect. So these are carbons. I'm not saying that every intersect is asymmetric. That's definitely not true. But that is where you're going to find them if you have it in a Fisher. So we have these carbons. I can tell you that these are asymmetric, so we can assign RS to both of them. We're going to follow the same steps as we've done before, where we're going to assign priority. So if I look at this asymmetric center here, oxygen has highest priority, hydrogen has lowest. Now I have a carbon, and I'm comparing it to this carbon here. So this top carbon has 3 hydrogens. This other intersect carbon has an oxygen, carbon, and a hydrogen. It has more higher priority groups, so that will be 2, and this methyl group is 3. Okay, so here, the idea of a Fisher is you want that lowest priority group to be on a dash, which is on the vertical line. We see that it is not on a vertical line, and if this was a skeletal structure, I would encourage you to do double flip, but we don't have to with a Fisher. And that's because it's either going to be on a dash or it's going to be on a wedge. So it's safe in a Fisher to make the assumption it's going to be the opposite answer of what this says it is. What do I mean by that? Okay, so if we've signed the priority, let's do our clockwise and counterclockwise. So I'm going to go 1, 2, 3. It looks like this should be S. But because our lowest is not on a vertical line, I can say that it is actually R. It is okay to do that with a Fisher. That is allowed, and you will be correct every single time. So with that in mind, let's go ahead and do our second one. So I know hydrogen will be 4. Oxygen will be 1. Now I'm going to compare this carbon with this central carbon. This has 3 hydrogens. The other carbon here has a hydrogen, oxygen, carbon. It has more higher priority groups. So this will be my 2, and this will be my 3. Now I'm going to do clockwise, counterclockwise. So I have 1, 2 to 3. This looks to be R. My lowest is on a vertical line. So it is going to be on a dash. So it is in the back. So this is R. Hopefully that makes more sense with Fishers.